Namaste, Jagdish ji.
Namaskar, this is Yashodhara.
Namaskar.
I came to India, so it's nice and bright and early in the morning. So Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Mahoday.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
That's Yashodhara. I can see her.
Hey, you can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't see you.
It's good.
Namaste. Namaste, Jagdish ji.
Namaste. That is the whole idea. Let's do it. Ajñātavasa. Zoom doesn't like to see me. That is when it gets hung up when I put the video camera on. And there is no need for you guys to see me once the pronunciation part is done. Okay, our 2 minutes grace period is up. So let's do the prayers. I suggest everybody to switch off your videos, and maybe 1 or 2 can be on the audio for the prayer part. Let's start with the prayers. Om Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham
Anekdantam bhaktanam ekdantam upasmahe saraswati namastutyam
Varade
kamarupine
Vidyārambham
Vidyārambham
karishyāmi
karishyāmi
siddhi
siddhi
bhavatu me
bhavatu me
sada.
sada.
Guru Brahma,
Guru
Guru
Brahma,
Viṣṇu,
Guru
Guru
Vishnu,
Devo
Guru Devo
Maheshwarah,
Maheshwarah,
Guru
Guru
Sakshat
Param
Parabrahma,
Brahma,
Tasmai
Tasmai
Shri
Shri
Gurave
Gurave
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om
Om
Sahana
Sahana
Bhavatu,
Bhavatu,
Sahanau
Sahanau
Bhunaktu,
Bhunaktu,
Sahavir
Sahaviryan
Karavavahe,
Karavavahe,
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Mavidvishavahe.
Mavidvishavahe.
Om
Om
Shanti
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 Shanti.
Shanti.
Vakyakaram Vararuchim,
Vakyakāram Varuchim,
Bhāṣyakaram Patanjalim,
Bhāṣyakaram Patanjalim,
Pāణiniṃ Sūtrakaranca,
Pāṇiniṃ Sūtrakaranca,
Pranatosmi Munitrayam,
Pranatosmi Munitrayam,
Atha Maheshwara Sutrani,
Atha Maheshwara Sutrani,
Ayivun,
Ayun,
Rilak,
Rilvak,
Evong,
Eom,
Ay Ouch,
Ayauch,
Ayavarat,
Ayavarat,
Lan,
Lang,
Nyamangananam,
Yamangananam,
Japanya,
Jabhanja,
Kadadash,
Kardhash,
Jabagadash,
Jabagadash,
Kapha Chatata, Chatatav,
Kapha Chatha Chatav,
Kapai,
Kapai,
Shasasar,
Shashastar,
Hal,
Hal,
Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani.
Iti Maheshwarana Sutrani.
All right. Any questions? If not, we will get into the textbook. So we are going to start with
I have one question.
sandhi. So I think we are done with the. Oh yeah, there is some homework.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question on that actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
So last two actually, one which is hull. So there are two hers. So is it 33 or 34? That's a confusion.
Okay, let's make it. How do we make it bigger? Okay, what is the question? The very last one?
Yeah, the last one or even the previous one. So al and hull, they both have two hers in parts. So should we count them twice or should we count them once?
The,
Two has.
Yeah, in the Maheshwari-Sutrani, there are two hers.
Yeah.
So when we count from al, for example, the last one, so her will appear twice. Should we count them twice or should we count them once?
Okay, for the last one is al, right? Just akara and l.
Yeah.
so
Where do you see two as?
To her.
Yeah, hi is okay. That is the one before the last. You said you have a
Yes.
question on the last one also. Last one is simple al.
Yeah, but al is basically all letters then. So that includes her twice in the Maheshwari Sutrani.
Yep. Let's get at the ha later. Let's look at the last question, which is al. There is only one akara. So how can there be two? What is the confusion there?
No, to her.
Oh, okay, just the ha. Okay. That is simple. I think we have talked about that earlier. Now, if you take the last ha, is there a need to make a pratyahara? When there is only one element involved, what is the point of making an abbreviation?
there is no point.
Right. So when the hal means it is only the first ha.
So the answer should be,
When an abbreviation is made, you are making a short form for more than two or more, right?
No, but this her, there are two hers, right? One is the soft her, soft semi-vowel. Is that not the her that we should use, or there's a sibilant her? Like if you pull up the Maheshwarana Sutrani, then
Yeah, okay. Now, whenever we make a pratyahara, it is only the first ha you take. You don't take the last ha. Okay, because both the has, it is the same ha, but just the same ha is appearing twice, because there are some certain sutras where ha and some other things are involved. In the beginning, I gave the examples, two sutras in the last class, why the ha has to appear in two places. So taking just the last ha for making a pratyahara doesn't make sense, because then it will be just the ha. So there's no need for abbreviation. So it's always the first ha. Okay. Haya-varat all the way up to Sa-sa-sa-ha. So you can add it twice, but it doesn't add anything. It is the same ha.
Okay.
Okay. And
So-
hal means all the consonants.
Yeah.
so Jagdishji, the answer to the second last question should be 33 and the all should be 42.
Yeah.
No,
9
but he
plus
said
33, 42, and 33 consonants. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Jagdisha ji, one question.
Okay. The last one, the explanation will be all varnas. Okay.
Yeah.
Swara and vyanjanas for the last one. And hal is all vyanjanas. Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. What is the other question?
Number 11, it's Aich. Does it have a name?
Okay. It would have been better if she had numbered. Okay. Aich.
Aich. It's if you
Okay.
count, including
So even though the question is from one person, everybody please listen because this will be useful for everybody. Okay, aich. So your question is, what are the elements belonging to aich?
What is the description? What are the types of letters in aich? Because it is half the diphthong, right?
I, ow.
I and out.
I
Yeah.
and ow, those are the only two, but does that aich have a name? Like,
Okay, so let's look at that.
I think they are diphthongs, right?
They are diphthongs, but there are other diphthongs also, right? They're not the only diphthongs.
right.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember a couple of classes ago, just 2 classes ago, we defined 2 terms. Remember? Vriddhi and Guna,
Yeah.
right? Now, in the Vriddhi and Guna, this I and Au, remember that there are 3 Vriddhi letters. 2 are these?
O, E, A, O.
No. The Vriddhi letters are
I
A,
know.
I, and Au.
Oh.
Yeah.
A,
Ow.
E, capital
So if
E.
you want an explanation, you can say this is Vriddhi letters other than A, long A. Make sense?
Yes. We
Isn't
talk-
capital E and capital U also Vriddhi?
Capital.
Big E and big U. E and U.
No, they are not Vriddhi. They're not defined like that.
Okay.
Because Vriddhi is specifically defined by a Panini Sutra.
Okay.
Vriddhi at aich. So, aich, see, that is the sutra where this aich pratyahara is used. At is long A or dirgha A, and aich, which is I and Au. These are called vriddhi. That was the definition we already saw in one of the pages. So just for aich, you can say vriddhi letters other than A.
Thank
Make
you.
sense?
Yes, Jagadisha ji. Thank you.
What was the other question? I think somebody said the long wu and long. Whoever asked, can you repeat your question?
No, it was the same question. Whether long E and long U are Vriddhi because they are Vriddhi sandhis.
No. They are just dirgha letters.
Okay, thank you.
Vriddhi letters, I don't know which page number it is. It's just specifically defined.
Page 8.
Page
Page
8. Okay?
8. Yeah. Page
Right
8.
here. A, and Au. Those are the only 3 Vriddhi letters. Okay. So if you're trying to make an explanation for just I and Au, then you can say Vriddhi letters except for A, because Vriddhi letters involves 3.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions about the pratyaharas? And this is the important thing. All things has to be cleared before we go to the sandhis. We will get into the pratyaharas right away, but when we get into vowel sandhi or swara sandhi, then we will talk about Panini Sutras. And whenever we talk about Panini Sutras, we have to know about the pratyaharas because they refer to them. So everybody got a taste of the pratyahara and had some fun with referring back to the Panini Sutras and making the list. And some of the lists are pretty long. Okay. And all this 44 pratyaharas have been used by Panini in different sutras. And some of the pratyaharas used multiple sutras. Some may have been used in 1 or 2 also. And some of them have been used multiple.
Jagadisha, can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure. Any
Yeah.
question has to be cleared.
Yeah, all hard consonants. Is it khar or is it includes the ha? Is it khar
No.
or khal?
It is kar, because see, if you look at in the table, because ha appears in the second ha.
Mhm.
If you look at the hard, the box hard, okay, let's see. See my screen here is that there's a little box here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Box.
yeah.
She didn't make the hard all the way down because ha is not hard. That is why she just left it a little space there. Okay.
Okay,
So the hard is shasa-sa.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Akara is here. So it is soft.
Semi-vowel.
Semi-vowels and it is soft. See, hakara here is under the soft.
So,
Okay.
Mhm.
That is the reason why she didn't pull it all the way up to the bottom. That if you pull it all the way up to the bottom, you assume that all the sibilants are soft. All the sibilants are hard. Okay. Hakara is not hard.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other
I have
questions?
one more question. Yes, namaskar,
please.
Jagdish. This is Yashodhara. I'm
Please.
on page 13 of the book. If you could please explain, maybe you did and I missed it, where it says ana is usually formed with the first na and
Yeah.
in is always formed with the second na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the reason behind that?
Now, the reason in the sense, Panini didn't have any use, for example, an, except for that one sutra 1169. In
Okay.
anywhere, he didn't have a use of an, including all the other letters.
I
So
see.
he just used a, e, u in all
Okay.
other sutras except that one.
Okay.
And in is all the, because if the first nakara is used for in, it will use only e and u, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Panini didn't have a sutra where just only e and u are concerned.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That is why he didn't use, that is why this
Okay.
statement saying that there is no sutra which used
Okay.
just the first first nakara for in. Whenever you
Got
find
it.
a in any sutra, it is referring to the e all the way up to Lund.
Okay.
Jagdisha I have one more question.
Yeah.
I have one question.
So in the consonants with Maheshwari Sutra, when you start with the semi-vowel ha, it has to end in one of the it letter, right? Circle. You cannot have it in non-circle letter. Like ha to ha, it never occurs.
yeah.
No, because any abbreviation should end in one of the it letters, circled it letters.
Okay.
That is the definition. You start with one of the regular letters, non-circle letters,
And then go to
but
it.
the last one should always be it letters.
Got it.
So the pratyahara or the abbreviation includes all the letters which you started with and all the way up to and excluding the it letter. Okay, that is the sutra. That is what the definition of an it is. Like Adirantyena Sahayata, that definition says Adi is the first letter you have, okay, and the last it, okay, up to the last it. Okay, all the letters in between. So that is this whole exercise saying you say ach, so you say ak, you say ayundril. Okay, you start with a is first member of the list. A, e, u, r, l. When you come to l, the next is the rounded it letter, which is part of the thing. So that is the end of the list. When you encounter the it letter, that is the end of the list.
Okay.
Here,
I have one.
When you say first un, then what will you say for it? It is all simple vowels. It is only 3 simple vowels. How do you write that? That it's only 3 letters.
yeah.
Yes.
What is that? Then you will say simple vowels or short vowel.
You can write the simple vowels. You can't say short. You can say simple vowels except r and l.
Oh, that's what you have to say. Okay.
Yeah, then that is one way of saying. Or you can say it's just the first 3 simple vowels.
Yeah. Or we can say first 3 simple vowels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And the more appropriate will be simple vowels except r, because if somebody for some reason rearranges the 5. Okay, so the saying they're simple vowels except r and l will be the safest. Order doesn't matter then. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, I have one.
previously they were asking about H and H,
Yeah.
all the diphthong and the last two diphthong, and you brought up the vriddhi and guna.
Yeah.
But do you need to think about vriddhi and guna when you are answering this question? I
No,
mean,
you don't have to. You
yeah.
know, if you want to explain somebody in a class like this, what are the vriddhi, what are the letters in H, then that is one way of saying. Okay, H is very simple, all the diphthongs.
Right.
Okay. When is H, because there is a sutra about vriddhi and vriddhi sandhi, that is why it is, H is used in that sutra. Okay, so it is vriddhi letter other than the long A, because there are three vriddhi letters. I think that's the only way you can explain it.
Yeah, but I still don't understand because I'm not sure or I don't know about Panini Sutra. So it still is a blank on my mind.
Okay, it is okay. What you call it in a sentence or the simple words is secondary, but what letters are included in H and H, that is the most important thing. Okay, what you call it or give it a nickname is not that important.
Okay, so what I need to understand the last two diphthongs are actually vriddhi letters.
Yes.
I need to understand that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I understand now. Thank you.
Okay.
One more question. If you
Please.
say second an, there are 14 letters, right? Then when you write, you will say it is simple vowel, diphthong and semi-vowel, or vowels and semi-vowels.
Second and
In.
How do you
okay.
How do you say it is vowels and semi-vowels, or simple vowels, diphthong and semi-vowels? How do you have to write?
What do you think is the simplest or the shortest, but still explains everything?
Vowels and semi-vowels. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But would ha be included in semi-vowels?
Now in second an, an sutra, including second nakara, it letter, then it is all the vowels plus the hayavarat and hayavarala. So all the vowels and semi-vowels will be covered by pratyahara an, where the na is the second one.
The book says ha plus semi-vowels. So is ha included in semi-vowels or is that separate?
Ha included in the semi-vowel.
Yeah.
Ha plus semi-vowel. Sorry. Yes. Semi-vowels is yavarala.
Okay. Thank you, Jagdishji.
Okay.
Sorry, Jagdish. So how do we know if you're using the first Anu Sutra or the second Anu Sutra? Is there usually some kind of a notation?
Yeah, that is why there's only one sutra that uses there is only one sutra that uses the second an.
Okay.
Okay, that is why the three notes are important, especially when because of the presence of two nakaras. Letters.
One thing, it's just like these pages are not in miscellaneous yet, right?
I think I put them in miscellaneous or marked pages or one of those.
Or marked pages? Are they marked pages? I see.
Okay, so they are there somewhere.
Okay, I have to find them because it was not in miscellaneous.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I forgot what are all the subfolders I created.
Yeah, miscellaneous has Maheshwar Sutrani and the slides and a Ganapatha.
Okay. Is there something with the class notes or something like that?
Yes.
Notes?
Yes.
Okay. They will be there
it's in the class notes.
Yeah. Okay. By class notes, I mean all the things I put there in blue letters I consider as my notes.
Yes.
Yes, but I don't see this particular, this particular page. Okay, yeah, I do see it. Yes.
Okay. So I think there are 4 or 5 pages I put after the last class because of this list. I think a lot of people asked about this list.
Only thing it doesn't have is that Parene, Vagraha, Survey.
Yeah, that is fine. I didn't want you to confuse with that.
Okay.
But that is what actually written in English there by the author.
Okay.
And I just gave where it came from from the origin.
Okay.
Okay, it exactly means the same thing. She gave just the English translation. I, for my own reference, is putting where that translation came from.
May I ask you where it is coming from?
That is a kārakas somebody wrote for memorization's sake.
I see.
If you see that, even though it is not there, it is right in front of you now.
Oh, it says karika. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
And then if you see here, see that came from this.
Yeah.
All those things. You split that and to explain these three.
Wow.
This one karika, it has the sentences are split to explain these three. That is what I did. And in here, I just give the whole karika. Okay, karika is, they call it a mnemonic tool, mnemonic. Okay, so karika is the equivalent of mnemonic in English. Mnemonic is like the memory aid things.
Wow, thank you. I have so much to learn. It's overwhelming sometimes.
No. In the sense, see this 1, 2, 3 footnote, I just gave where the original source is.
That's
And it is not, I didn't want to confuse you with a lot of Saṁskṛta things, especially they are not specifically Panini Sutras. And this is actually a little tongue twister also. The whole karika is a little tongue twister till you break the sandhis. That is what I did here. Purvena, eva, angraha. I broke the sandhi because say here you parena eva ingraha. So this is this one. Parena eva ingraha sarve. That is this part. I broke them because the sandhi, break the sandhi, then that translates into this. Okay. And then purvena eva angraha, the second line. Okay, that breaks into this. If you break the sandhi, it covers this. Okay, rute and gives the exception of this 1169 exception. So anudit savarnasya, he just mentioned the first two sentences of the sutra. Okay, ityeta dekam, the sutra starting with this. This is the one exception. That is what the second line says.
Okay. Very nice. Nice work. Thank you.
So the things in the blue are kind of for me to explain, help explain, not that you have to by heart or anything.
Yeah. No, but I think by seeing something like that, we also learn to complete the task of like where it's coming from. That's a good way to learn things.
That is one thing. And your first comment is, oh, there is so much to learn. That is what I didn't want to get scared.
No, but once you explain, then it understands that it's a matrix. Once you understand, go all the way to the root, then everything becomes very clear. So your explanation helped me to see what your vision is.
Not my vision, it's Panini's vision. I am trying to understand and put it.
But you are the mouth for us.
Add a little more than there is in the book, because sometimes question might come, where did it come from? So this is where it came from.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. And this also, this is not, Panini didn't write it. And not even the Bhāṣyakaras did that. This one, somebody later on thought about it. Maybe some other Saṁskṛta teacher thought about it. How can I make this more easily memorizable? So he wrote it in a very cryptic form. But if you know, once you know the sandhi and break the word, then it makes sense. Right now, it is a little too early because we haven't covered the sandhi. Like you said, there's a purvena eva becomes purvenaiva. It is a vriddhi sandhi. Okay, a and a becoming I, and we haven't covered the vriddhi sandhi. That is why I was a little hesitant to put that in the class last time.
Yeah,
because we haven't covered the sandhi. The karika is full of sandhis because it's a tongue twister because of the sandhis. So I didn't want to scare anybody. The translation is pretty simple.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? all questions about the pratyaharas, it letters, Maheshwara Sutras has to be clear. That is why I'm asking again and again. Okay, then we will slowly walk into the topic of sandhi.
Since you asked again one more time, do you think this like I un rul ruk, all that, do you think we should memorize, like these are all diptongs, all these semi-vowels, the fifth class? It should be the practice that will happen.
You memorize the sutras because we made it part of the prayer. That's the whole idea of putting in the part of the prayer, because it comes naturally. But when you say, whenever a pratyahara comes up, you should have some idea where this, say, it letter nya come in there. Okay, where is the show come? What it might include. And it doesn't matter if you don't know. That is why I'm saying, take a printout of that Maheshwara Sutra I posted and put it on the wall where you attend the class, or tape it to your screen. Okay, so that whenever because when we talk about the sandhi, when you not in the swara sandhi and vyanjana sandhi, we will talk about this all the time, because a certain sandhi sutra is applicable only for the short letters, some are for the dirghas, some are for the guna letters only, vruddhi letters only. So you keep on going back and forth, referring to the Maheshwara Sutras in the sandhi topic. So it is better to take a printout and keep it in the front, and that way it will be useful.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Sandhis. Okay, sandhis is very, very important, especially during chanting, especially group chanting. If somebody is making a sandhi, somebody else in the same group, same chanting session is not making a sandhi, then it will be a lot of disharmony. So you have to know when to make sandhi, when not to make sandhi, all those things. All those things we will talk about first, and then go into the mechanics of the sandhis. Okay, so let's go by the book. So basics of sandhi. Sandhis are nothing but phonetic changes when two sounds come together. Okay, and see here, I write myself some note. Instead of scribbling in pencil, I put it in black and white. Did the word sandhi come about? Okay, it is not necessary now, but there may be some people in the class who have taken some advanced classes already. So then they might say, how did the word sandhi come about? Because, in the whole of book 3, like 1/3 of the class, we are going to spend on finding out how the different words come about. That is the book 3. Okay, so sandhi comes about from a dhatu called dha, with a prefix sam and a pratyaya tin. Okay, that is not necessary to know now. Okay, sandhi is like a combination of two sounds. If some change happens when two specific sounds meet under certain conditions, then the sandhi happens. Okay, concepts of sandhi. The word sandhi literally means connection of two things. Okay, and there is another something similar word with almost similar meaning. We use it in the daily life, which sounds similar to sandhi, little difference at the end. Can anybody guess what I have in?
Samasa?
No, samasa is totally different.
Mahodaya, Sandhya.
Sandhya, exactly. Okay, because sandhya, if you look at the meaning of sandhya, it has the same thing. It is a connection. There's been when we do sandhya vandana, it's supposed to be done at all the three sandhyas, trikala sandhya, they say. Okay, the three sandhyas, one is in the morning, where day meets the night, or the night meets the day, and the evening, where day meets the night, and in the midday, where the morning meets the afternoon. So sandhya kala is where one thing changes into the other, or two things are connected. Okay, the sandhya also is the same thing, only instead of kta pratyaya, a different pratyaya is added. That is where it gets the different meaning. Okay. Connection of two things. Word means sandhi, because sandhi is used some other places also. You know, when some.
I have a question before you proceed. The very first thing, sandhi equals samhita. So the one on the right is the breakdown of samhita or breakdown of sandhi?
No, samhita is the word generally Panini uses in his sutras. He doesn't use the word sandhi. Okay, but meaning is same.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
there are some sutras, he says samhitayam, means in the topic of sandhi.
Okay,
so sandhi and samhita is the word you generally see in the Panini sutras, but in common speaking, we talk about sandhi. We don't say guna samhita, we say guna sandhi.
Oh, so the root plus the prefix is for the sandhi.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Here I am just giving how the word sandhi came about. Okay. Right now it doesn't make sense, but when we go into the book 3, there will be a lot of curiosity. How did this word come about? How about his name come about? How about my name came about? So that is all the explanation book 3 does.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. As a grammatical term, sandhi is a phonetic change which takes place when two sounds come in contact. Okay. So suppose there is a word or a prefix. The last sound of that word or prefix, suppose it has, under some conditions, when it comes close to the first letter of the next word, then if there, according to the sandhi rules, if there is a possibility of sandhi, then the sandhi will happen. As a grammatical term, sandhi is a phonetic change which takes place when two sounds come in contact. And that is what this sutra says. Okay, 14109, Parasannikarsha Samhita. So here he didn't use the word sandhi. He says sandhi is when two sounds come very close. Sannikarsha, very, very close. This is like a magnet. If it comes beyond a certain distance of closest approach, they pull and touch each other or become one, like that. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind, sandhi is purely phonetic. Okay. Even when the words are phonetically joined by sandhi and written without a space between them, the meaning of each word is not affected. They do not become one word. Okay. So this is very important to know, and this is the important distinction between sandhi and samasa. Okay. So sandhi is purely phonetic. It's like a mechanical joining. The meanings, the two different words will have their own meanings. Okay, their meanings are not combined. But in the case of samasa, the two words are joined not only by the sounds, but also with the meanings. The meanings, the two words combine to mean a different thing in the case of samasa. As in the case of sandhi, the two words retain their meanings. It's only a mechanical joining of the sounds. Okay. So sandhi is different from samasa. Samasa is a compound where meaningfully connected words join to become one compound word. Sandhi can take place between any words, okay, whether they're meaningfully connected or not. The sandhi can happen if the conditions are met by the purvapada ending and the parapada beginning. Purvapada means the first word, parapada is the second word participating in a sandhi.
I have a question in regards to this, please. Is there, I'm referring to bhashya, like Śāṅkara-bhāṣya versus other bhashyas. Is it possible that for the same word, a sandhi can be, a word can be broken using a different sandhi rule and get a different meaning versus?
Okay. It may be possible, but the cases are very rare. But In samasa, it is very much possible. There are all the time that happens.
So to differentiate between a samasa and sandhi itself is difficult unless you know the vocabulary very well.
It will be easy once you know the basics of both sandhi and samasa. Distinction is very easy.
Oh, okay.
Right now, we are just starting into sandhi, so it looks difficult because we haven't covered anything yet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Any questions till now? We haven't covered much, but this difference between sandhi and samasa, it will become clear when we get some examples. The whole vyakarana, I tell, is like mathematics. When you just explain in sentences, it may not make sense. Do one or two examples, things become clearer. Okay. Okay. 3 types of sandhis. In this book, the topic, if you glance through the pages, is divided into 3 groups. Okay. The book starts with the visarga sandhi. Sandhi is classified into 3 categories based on the types of sandhis that is replaced. Okay. They are visarga sandhi. Okay. Regulations of phonetic changes where a visarga is replaced. Okay. And I do not specifically say replaced. Visarga is involved. It may undergo change. There are some specific cases where the visarga will remain as visarga even after sandhi. Okay. So it's not that it is always replaced. So when a visarga is involved, a change with visarga involved is a visarga sandhi. Vowel sandhi, regulations of phonetic changes when vowels are replaced or involved, because both Purvapada and Uttarapada will have only vowels. This is the reaction between the vowels from both sides. But Visarga Sandhi is a reaction that happens where Visarga is one of the participants. Consonant Sandhi is regular phonetic changes where a consonant is involved. Okay. So Parapada can be a consonant, Parapada can be a consonant or a vowel. Okay. Same with the other case. So a consonant Sandhi can be consonant, consonant, consonant vowel, or vowel consonant. Okay. So when we go to the different groups, will be more clear. Okay, so 3 types of sandhis. This is a broad classification for practical purposes, and some of the books start with the vowel sandhi, then they go to consonant sandhi, and they cover the visarga sandhi at the end. Okay. So visandhi is sometimes it takes, because visarga sandhi is not very simple in the sense it generally is multiple steps. When visarga is involved, it changes into sa, changes into ro. So that way there are multiple steps involved.
So
but in this book,
there are only 3 sandhis in sandhis here, but in Telugu there are many like guna sandhi, savarna dirgha sandhi.
Wait. What is a guna sandhi?
Okay.
Okay, this is 3 groups. Like your guna sandhi, savarga dirgha, savarna dirgha sandhi, all of them come in vowel sandhi because they are ach.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So this is grouped into 3 major groups.
Okay.
Okay. And how is grouped? This is the characteristic. When the visarga is involved, visarga sandhi. When all the vowel on the both sides, vowels are involved, then it is swara sandhi. Okay. I would have preferred, instead of saying vowel sandhi, ach sandhi, another name is swara sandhi, because we know right now we made a pratyahara. Ach means all the swaras. So ach sandhi means all swara sandhi. Hal, we already just now talked about hal, all vyanjanas. So hal means vyanjana sandhi. So Panini never says, the hal sandhi or the swara or vyanjana, because he has a very, very short ach, hal, that kind of things. Okay. Then, there are some other places. For example, in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, they say there are 5 types of sandhis. Okay. And the grouping is a little different. Okay. You can say there, ach sandhi, hal sandhi, and Visarga Sandhi, and then there is a group Swadi Sandhi, which is covered in this classification. Swadi Sandhi comes in the part of the Visarga Sandhi. Okay. Another Sandhi in the Panchas LSK, which is Vedānta Kaumadi. If you are attending that course also, you might have heard that the name of the course is Panchasandayaha. Okay. So the other one is called Prakriti Bhava Sandhi, which is not making a Sandhi when a possibility is still there. For specific reasons, you don't make Sandhi. So that is why in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, it is put into 5 different groups, the same Sandhis. Okay. Because, there is multiple members, you can classify them into different groups based on different characteristics. Okay. So, but commonly, other than Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi students, which is like a higher level of grammar, generally, we always know, not only in Saṁskṛta, in local languages also, Sandhis are generally these 3: Swara Sandhi, Vyanjana Sandhi, and Visarga Sandhi. Okay, or Ach Sandhi, Hal Sandhi, and Visarga Sandhi. Now, this Ach Sandhi, Hal Sandhi, Visarga Sandhi, we talk about only in grammar class, but in, say, Kannada or Telugu grammar, you might say Swara Sandhi, Vyanjana Sandhi, and Visarga Sandhi. Now, whenever a Sandhi happens, we said the changes will happen. If there is a right combination, some changes will happen. What are the type of changes? There are 4 types of changes possible when Sandhi happens. Okay. What are the 4 types of changes? You will hear these words frequently later on in the Sandhi chapter. One word very common, or the most of the Sandhis involve Adesha. Okay. So Adesha means, I gave the word here in explanation in Saṁskṛta, I will translate. Purvam stitasya varnasya sthane anyasya udayaha. So Adesha, simply put, is a replacement. Under certain conditions, one sound will be replaced by another sound because of Sandhi.
I'm in the middle of conference.
Okay. So Adesha is replacement. One sound, one varna is replacing another varna under certain conditions. That is one type of change that can happen under a Sandhi. I give an example here. We have heard the word Yadyapi or Ityadi. Now, whenever say it's very common, Yadyapi is not that common. Ityadi is very common. It's there in almost Indian languages. So, Iti plus Adi, Ityadi. So, Iti, the last letter is Ikara. Adi, the first letter of the second word, is Akara. So, for the Sandhi part, we can put the equation as E plus A becoming Ya. So, Iti plus Adi becoming Ityadi. Okay. So, Iti ends with E. Adi starts with A. There is no Yakara at all before the Sandhi happened. But when the Sandhi happened, a new Yakara comes. Okay. So, it is as if like the E of Iti, second, the last E at the is replaced by Ya. So what is happening is Ya is a Adesha for E. So the Iti plus Adi will become Itya.
This meeting is being recorded.
Ityadi. Am I on? You can hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I heard it's being recorded, so I thought it will cut off. Okay.
First, second.
That is an example of replacement.
Close maintenance. Oh,
Okay. Everybody, please mute yourself unless you have a question. The second change that can happen is a agama. Okay, is addition. Something comes and adds without replacing anything. Okay. So varnat purvam paramva anyasya udayaha. A new sound comes and joins without replacing anybody. Okay. So we have example here. Kurvan api. This is the word in Gita. Kurvan api. Okay. You can see my cursor?
Yes.
Is it big enough or do it?
I think it's big.
Okay, at any time, if you can't see, want to make it bigger, just let me know. Accent, so it jumped pages. It jumped several pages.
Too big, we can't see them all.
Yeah,
No, I think the page is changed.
yeah, pages changed. That's the problem with making letters too big.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is big enough, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I was talking about this, if you can see my cursor and read the letters, then if
Yes.
you can't, let me know. I will make it smaller just for that part. Make it bigger for that part, okay? So, kurvan api. There is a word, kurvan, the last letter ends with a nakara. And the second word starts with akara. So, it should be, if there is no replacement, there is no replacement. But a additional nakara comes in. So, that is why when you see in the verses, in the Gita, it says kurvan api, as if there are two nakaras, okay? So, the second nakara is a agama. Agama is addition. Okay, not replacement. Replacement is adesha. Okay, so there's a karika again to help you remember. They say mitravat agamaha shatruvat adeshaha. Mitravat, like a friend. Agama is like a friend. It comes in and stays happily with the other letters. Okay, an addition. Whereas adesha is shatruvat. He comes and knocks something off. Okay, replaces. It's like the kings in the earlier days. Okay, when the stronger king comes and dethrones the guy, and he takes over the throne. Okay, so shatruvat adeshaha, mitravad agamaha.
But the akara is disappeared though. The akara letter, okay, varna.
Where?
The api, the a of the api is absorbed into the nakara.
It's not, okay. This letter in the middle, how do you split it? If you have to separate the components of that, what I'm talking about, again, it jumped and went all over. I want to make it bigger. It jumps goes 3-4 pages.
Yeah.
Before. I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to show that. Okay. Now this, if you can see my cursor, this letter, what are the component sounds on this?
Okay, you can split as ik.
No. I'm asking the person who asked the question.
Yes. So if you keep kurvan plus kurvan, then add a nakara, then also keep the after that.
Okay.
Then that the definition makes sense. I mean, is correct. The definition you said nothing is lost, one thing is added.
Yeah.
So the akara is lost. That's what got confused me. The definition confused me.
No, akara is not lost.
The akara sound is not lost, but the letter is lost.
The letter is lost, is not lost, it's combined. That is why I'm asking you the question. This letter here, like the third letter here, how do you split that? If you have to split into different varnas, how do you split that? That will answer your question. I'm just leading you to your answer.
Let me think.
So you answer me, tell me this na. What are the letters involved in that?
There is a half nakara.
No. There is nothing like nakara. Always it's a full nakara. Tell me the word.
It's a half nakara. Two half nakaras and one akara.
Okay. There is no half nakaras. It is two nakaras because
Oh,
nakara
okay,
is
okay.
n only.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
it is, you yourself said it is n plus a.
Yes. Yes.
So a didn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
is pronounced instead of kurvan api, instead of kurvan api, it is kurvan api. So
Okay.
a is there attached to the second nakara. It didn't disappear. It's not replaced. That answers your question?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Okay. So when I ask you a question back, I am asking you so that I can lead you to the answer.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
So the
Jagdish,
third kind of change that happens, that can happen under in some sandhi is lopaha. Okay. Lopaha is a total disappearance. It is not replacement. Something is there and it is not there after the sandhi is made. This sometimes, the common example is the visarga sandhi. Okay. Sometimes there is a visarga lopa sandhi. Okay. Lopaha, by definition, lopa is varnasya adarshanam. When the sandhi is made as if that something is disappeared. For example, visarga sandhi. Samavetaha yuyutsavaha. But in the Bhagavad-Gītā 1.1, this is the very first shloka, it says Samaveta yuyutsavaha after the sandhi. Because there is a, you will cover that in the visarga sandhi, there is a lopa sandhi, visarga lopa. Okay. So Samaveta yuyutsavaha. Because of the sandhi, visarga is dropped or disappears. So the disappearance or lopa is another change that can happen in sandhi. The fourth type of change is no change at all. Okay, prakriti bhava, that is one of the sandhis, prakriti bhava sandhi. Nimitte sati api. Okay, nimitte satyapi. Now this satyapi is sati api. Even when the reason or the conditions are there for making a sandhi, lopadehe abhavaha, lopa, agama, etc. These things do not happen for another specific reason, even when conditions are fulfilled. Okay, so there is a anadi ubhau. You can make a yan sandhi there as anadyubhau, but that doesn't happen. That is for a specific reason. We will cover that when the topic comes. Okay, and here it is just giving one example of the four different types of changes or absence of change when sandhi happens. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. With the last one,
Yeah.
is basically cannot, if it's not said,
yeah,
the error would be creating a sandhi. Is that why the fourth rule is?
Yeah, fourth rule, there are some conditions where if you make a sandhi, there is, that might lead to misinterpretation compared to what the author wanted to convey. Okay, and there are some other cases where a sandhi is not made. Okay, some specific cases. Okay, so that's this those specific cases. Say prakriti bhava sandhi doesn't happen in spite of the scope. So those cases are specifically covered in these sutras in sixth chapter.
So it's basically an exception.
It is, yeah, you can say it is an exception. For as a whole sandhi topic, it's an exception.
Oh, okay.
So
Jagdish, I have one question regarding this second rule of agama.
Yeah.
In this example of kurvan napi,
yeah,
it seems to me that the hrasva nakara combined with the of the api and became full na.
No. There is no hrasva nakara. So you should be careful. There is nothing like hrasva nakara because nakara is a consonant. It doesn't have hrasva dirgha pluta.
Okay.
Hrasva dirgha pluta is only for the vowels. A, I, U. What happened here is there is kurvan and api. Between those, an additional nakara came. Okay.
Yeah, but the additional nakara, one is half and one is full.
No, both, as I mentioned, you don't say half nakara. If a nakara means n only.
No.
Okay. So there is already one nakara. The second nakara came in as agama. It's an addition. Okay, so the two nakaras and the akara of api becomes the na.
Na. Okay.
Okay. N plus a becomes na.
Na. Okay.
Okay, just like annam is a plus n plus a, or akara plus nakara plus akara makes anna.
Anna. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. This splitting is very, very necessary to understand the sandhi, because sandhi always the last letter of the first one you have to split. If there is a swara and vyanjana, you have to split them, because the sandhi happens generally only with the very last letter. Okay, so like for example here yadi and api, it is yakara and d plus e. Okay,
yeah.
You are d e, and api is a p and e. So sandhi happens only between the e at the end of yadi and a at the beginning of api. Okay, so the sandhi doesn't happen between the di and a. Sandhi is happening between the ikara of the di and the a.
Oh, another thing that confuses me always, this in yadi and api, the e, although it's pronounced after the and pa, but it's shown before that.
Oh,
like in the yadi, the e is written before the or pa. Oh, I think we lost.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I am here.
Like when you say yadi, so the sound of e is pronounced after the sound of, yeah. So how come then it's written before?
It is not written before. That is, writing is just the symbol. There is no e separately.
It is raswai.
It's raswai is always written like this. It is not that e is coming before the da.
Okay.
Okay. Now I think for this may be a question who is somebody new for the Devanagari script, but then how do you write it otherwise? Okay, so the writing is just a notation, but when you pronounce it yadi, yad-e, the and e makes d.
Okay.
So Jagdish ji,
yeah.
So to assimilate this whole for the sandhi concept, the 4 types of changes sandhi that you added on top of what is written in the book, the adesha, agama, and lopa and prakruti bhava. So the adesha part of it is that there's a change in it. Whereas agama, there is an addition to it, and lopa, there is the visarga goes away.
Yes.
And pratibhava remains the same.
Yes.
Is that my understanding correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sandhi is a phonetic change.
Phonetic change. Yeah, got it.
And there is no phonetic change because of specific reason. Even when there is a scope, it doesn't change. So whenever if it says sandhi, because a question might come, how come it didn't change anadi ubhav? So there is a reason why it didn't change. Okay. So sandhi is a change.
It's pure phonetic.
Yes, pure phonetic. Samasa is change of meaning also. Because generally samasa will have sandhi because the 2 words are combined. A mechanical change also happens, but more importantly, the meaning changes.
Got it.
Here the meaning doesn't change. The 2 words will have their same meaning.
So then the question becomes the visarga sandhi, where the visarga is replaced and the vowels ach gets replaced and the consonant hal gets replaced. How is it different from these 4 types? Is it different, or how do you separate it?
So this is a different kind of classification.
Oh, different kind of classification. Okay, got it.
You can classify based on different categories.
Now it makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay, there was one more question.
Yeah, Jagdishji, namaste. Is it a good assumption that whenever there is a possibility of sandhi, only one sandhi rule will apply, or could there be more than one sandhi rule that could apply?
That is what I said. Sandhis generally there is only one sandhi rule. There may be exceptions, but exceptions are very rare. Okay, and generally enough, our problem is not making the sandhi. The problem generally is breaking the sandhi. You find a sandhi combined word in the verse, then to get the meaning, you will have to break it. Now, the right question to ask is: are there multiple ways of breaking a given word sandhi? Okay, generally not. Whereas in the case of samasa, it is possible. There are a lot of words where people break them and assign them different meanings. Okay. In the sandhi, there may be one or two exceptions. Somewhere you have to find real hard to get the exception.
Okay. Okay. Dhanyavada.
Okay. Any other questions? Very
Yeah,
good questions.
Yeah, I have one general question, not related to sandhi. Is when is this visarga used? Because for nouns, we know that it can be used like Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So that we know, but here samaveta is not a noun. So that part, why? When is visarga used? That confusion always I have.
Samavetaha is a noun. It's a plural.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, samavetaha is singular. This is samavetaha yuyutsavaha, the assembled warriors. Samavetaha is assembled. So it is adjective. And all adjectives are nouns also, right? So it's an adjective to yuyutsavaha. Yuyutsu is singular, yuyutsavaha is plural. So adjective also has to be plural. So samavetaha yuyutsavaha. So if it is a singular, it should, you can't have an assembly of one warrior. If it is singular, it will be samavetaha yuyutsuhu. Okay. So samavetaha is also a noun. Is pratama vibhakti bahuvachana.
So okay, thank you.
Okay. Another question.
Yeah.
Bhagavad-Gītā 13, chapter 19, shloka Vidyanadi Ubhavapi. That's how the shloka is, right? How is that? How does this work with the sandhi there?
Okay. What is that? 13?
19. Vidhi anadi ubhavapi.
Okay, 13, 19. Let me see. 13, 19.
Will be the 13.
Some of these things, especially during the sandhi topic, if you have a Gita and Viṣṇu-sahasra-nāma book, keep it on your desk for the next few classes. Okay, because a lot of examples will come from Gita and Viṣṇu-sahasra-nāma. And there is a book, Bhagavad-Gītā Viṣṇu-sahasra-nāma Stotra Sahita. Sometimes Gita Press books comes with both of them will be in the same book. Okay, 13, 19?
Yes.
13, 19.
Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi.
Okay, so it is a little too early because we haven't covered all the sandhis. Okay, now this vidyanadi is, I think it is vidhi anadi. The ubhavapi is ubhau api. Okay, it's the dvivachana. Ubhau ends with au, and then api. There is a sandhi. We will talk about it. It's ayavayava sandhi. Comes towards the end of swara sandhis. Ayavayava sandhi. That is where ubhau api will become ubhavapi.
Thank you, Jagash.
Okay.
Thank you, Jagash.
All right. If there are not any questions, we will stop here and we will start with page 15 in the next class. Okay? Let's do the prayers and then maybe if there's any questions you can ask after the prayers. Okay, let's do the prayers. One or two of you can unmute, join me with the prayers. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, any questions? Please ask. Today we started on time.
For the pratyaharas, even the in between it letters have to be omitted, right? I know we omit the last it letter,
Can
But
you
the
repeat? I
in-between
think
ones,
there is some echo happening. Can you repeat or speak a little closer to your laptop or phone?
okay, so in the pratyaharas,
Yeah.
I know the end it letter is to be omitted whenever we write the pratyaharas,
Yeah.
but the it letters that come in the middle also are to be omitted.
Yeah. Have to be. Have to be. Any it
Okay.
letter should be left when you list out the number of list out the letters.
Okay, dhanyavad.
Okay.
Thank you, Jagdishi.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Shubharatrihi.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste, Jagdish.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Namaste. Good night. Shubharatrihi. End the meeting. End for all.